cosmic indifference, and through despair we dig for meaning that might be there. No promises of comfort or bliss, just truths we strive not to dismiss. This is the Finding Gnosis show, where illusions break and deeper truths grow. Philosophy and thought light the way through the dark toward a brighter day. Not endless struggle, but a fight worth the cost, seeking the meaning we thought was lost. Pessimism asks, why even try? We answer with questions reaching the sky. A critique of the systems, the myths we hold, a reflection on truths both stark and bold. Depressive realism clears the haze, while hope takes root in critical gaze. We search for a path, no matter how steep, to find the truth that lay buried deep. This is the Finding Gnosis show, where illusions break and deeper truths grow. Philosophy and thought light the way through the dark toward a brighter day. Not endless struggle, but a fight worth the cost, seeking the meaning we thought was lost. Promise ease, we don't promise rest, but a journey to uncover what's best. In cosmic indifference we still find might, to question, to change, and to ignite. Welcome to Finding Gnosis, where truth takes a stand. Together we search, together we understand. Through reflection, critique, and bold exploration, we strive for meaning. The journey begins, the truth will unfold. This is the Finding Gnosis show.
Okay. I'm on. I just have to get rid of this now. If you bear with me. Let me see.
Hello. Sorry about this. Oh my goodness me. What is happening? The Archons, I tell you, the Archons are attacking me and trying to stop me disseminating vital knowledge to save humankind from ultimately itself. Um, but I don't know what to say, only I am kind of screwed here. But we'll see. I don't know what's happened here. It's like the StreamYard is going all buggy on me. I don't know whether it's an issue with StreamYard um, or my computer's got some kind of virus or something. But I'm actually talking to you right now on my phone using a Bluetooth headset. So hopefully you can hear me. Yeah, Brother Marcus is here. Brojo's Cafe, Lance Ripper demands a refund. Yeah. Sorry about that, Lance Ripper. Right to my club for full remuneration. Let me just turn off this fucking desktop and turn it back on. That's what I'm going to do because that's what I learned at IT Help Desk School. So anyway, today we were and we hopefully still are going to talk about manufacturing consent. You know, I even read a little book on it today. So it was only an Audible book, Noam Chomsky. I mean, I did read his book years ago, Manufacturing Consent. But I also read a quick one today. It's only I read it. Well, I listened to it at 2 times the speed, and it was only like an hour to listen to or something. So it wasn't bad. An hour and a bit. Right, let's see if I can. Guys, if I have to abort this stream, I'll just let you on, right? And we'll do another one tomorrow or something. If I can't get this working tonight. But yeah, I do apologize for any of you who were waiting. And do you know what the most annoying thing is? I actually made the presentation myself. So that's the kind of annoying thing about this for me personally. Obviously, for you guys, it's probably really annoying to have to log on to some inept ape who has messed up the technology and promised something but couldn't deliver. Black Hole says he's forgiven me already. What a nice fella. What a nice fella. Oh, wow. There you go. That's nice. He sees the monkey in me. He knows I'm not perfect. And I wish other people in my life would be like that, you know, forgiving. You know, see that I am just a monkey. And it's not really my fault when I act a bit this or that, you know, a bit crazy, a bit unsure, a bit deluded. I'm just a mad monkey after all, you know. At least I'm not a mad murder monkey or a mad, you know, a monstrous monkey. I think I'm more of a bonobo than a chimp, you know. But don't worry, I won't try to rub my genitals off you if I meet you, because that's what they do to each other as a form of social cohesion, social bondage, you know, to keep everybody in the camp happy. They go around rubbing their genitals off each other. Even the male bonobos apparently sometimes do it to each other, you know. Imagine that. Imagine if we all went around doing Scissor Sisters and just like rubbing our genitals off each other in the street. Hello, mate. How you doing today? All right. Oh, yeah. Not too bad, thanks. Yeah, that would be a weird, wacky world. I'm not sure I'd like to be a part of it, you know? Crabs is a thing. Genital warts is a thing. Anyway, does anybody want to come on here and, you know, you can chat a bit whilst I'm flailing away at not given a presentation. Oh, there's only 3 of you there. Lance Ripper, you can come on here. Black Hole says it's about 20 minutes. Anybody else want to come on here, then please do. Brojo's Cafe. Yeah, there's a few of you in the chat there. Do come on. And let me see if I can. No, I can't even control the. Right, guys. Well, my enemies and haters are going to love this, aren't they? I hope I don't have too many of them, but you know, let's see. Right. Even my dog is going nuts. It's just one of those days, you know. I mean, how many streams have I actually done? I've done a lot of streams, and it was bound to happen at some time, wasn't it? I was bound to have a technological malfunction. Lance says genital rubbing reduces transmission of most respiratory infections. Right. Okay, I'll have to take your word for that. Okay. One more time, guys. I'm going to try this one more time. If it doesn't work, we will abort. Abort the mission. Mayday, mayday. Mayday, mayday. We're going down, and we've been shot, and the plane's engine is malfunctioning. One of the wings is damaged, and we are twirling down towards the ocean. Mayday, mayday. And I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but we live in hope because we're optimists, aren't we? Aren't we? We're optimists. Oh my goodness me. Right. Let's see. Right. Okay, might just have to open up the chat then if you want, guys. Anybody want to come on here? Otherwise, I'll end the show, I suppose, soon. Sorry about that. Black Hole said he'd come on in 20 minutes. Maybe I'll hang out until then. Not ideal, but that's what happens, isn't it? I mean, that's generally what happens. No idea why this is doing this. Okay. Well, it does seem the Archons got to me tonight, and that's that. So yeah, anybody want to come on here? Maybe we'll have a little free-for-all chat. I'll try and figure out if I can fix this up. But if you want to come on here, please do. Let me check if there's anybody waiting. I don't know. Nope, nobody here. So I just don't know what to do with myself. I just don't know what to do with myself.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement. We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement. We interrupt this.
We are fucked. In case you didn't know, okay? We are absolutely fucked.
After what seemed like an eternity, after what seemed like an eternity, after what seemed...
We're still fucked. Yeah. Okay, we've got a guest here. Oh, Brojo has come to save the day, perhaps. Brojo, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for coming on here. How are you doing?
Whoa, how am I doing? Well, that's a big question. I don't know.
Yeah.
What name do you go by?
DNW. He's fine.
DN or DM?
DN. N for Nugget.
Nancy? Oh, Nugget.
Nancy, yeah, I've been called worse. But yeah. So how are you doing, brother?
You have an hour?
Well, you know, we do actually. We do. We have plenty of time. Don't worry about that. The diary is free, and we can chat. No problem.
I am. I'm maintaining my composure, making sure my emotions don't control my decision making, and trying to be as reasonable and calm as possible.
Right. And how long have you been attempting to do that?
Oh, this has been an all-day thing.
An all-day thing. Oh, so you're new to this.
I've just gotten home and had a chance to decompress. Right. So I figure, hey, throw on the YouTubes. Let's see what's going on. Oh, and I say, hey, Finding Gnosis as a live might be an opportunity to decompress a little bit, chit chat.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, you know. I mean, life is hard, so sometimes it's cool just to chill out and maybe teach each other at the same time, new perspectives, you know, see what's going on. So we were meant to be
You
talking
know,
about manufactured consent tonight, brother.
but you know,
Um,
I do regular hangs as well. Do you know
oh,
that?
okay, on your channel, yeah, on your
Yeah. So
YouTube channel, right?
yes,
Nice.
sir. Yes.
Well, I'll have
Four,
to pop on at some stage and say hello
yeah,
if
definitely.
I'm welcome.
You are welcome. I'll drop a link in the private chat.
You've been on it before, haven't you?
I don't think I've been on panel, but I've
Oh,
definitely commented in the side section. I know
yeah, I've seen
guys,
your
they've been on.
I've seen your username. Yeah, I've seen your
Yeah,
name.
I've changed it a little bit. Going through a little transition right now.
What's brought that on, and where are you hoping to get to?
Well, it used to be the 420 Cafe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Rojo's, yeah, 420 Cafe. I don't know if I want to keep it the 420. I have an original channel, not this channel, but it was an original channel probably back in the old YouTube days. I still have my original channel when I came on in '06. So I'm thinking about doing, and I have a few thousand subscribers there. And yeah, redoing things. I'm gonna go the Gen X angle. I am first year Gen X. So
Okay,
I'm gonna start a new channel. It's gonna be Gen X John. So look out for that, Gen X John.
okay. So you're when you say your first, you're the last year of the Gen X or the first year of the Gen X?
First year, 65.
Oh wow. Okay, you actually sound much younger, brother. So there you go. I'm a geriatric millennial myself. I'm an '80s baby, but yeah,
Jerry
yeah. Uh,
Millennial.
so
That's
what's it
fun.
like being a Gen Xer? I mean, you kind of had the brunt of the baby boomers. I mean, they had it easy. You had it a little bit easier than we do, I suppose, in some ways. In some ways, but in other ways, you had it very hard. I mean, society was different back then. It was more. I think there was a lot more violence back then, in general, out and about. Um,
Violent?
yeah, depending where you were. Do you not think that there was like fisticuffs and there's a lot
Well,
of like fights in pubs and stuff, fights in bars? More. Do you not think so?
I mean, I've seen fights and I've been in a share of my own fights. Nothing like not. It wasn't like a thing that was happening all the time.
Hmm.
And also, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York City. So Brooklyn and early teens. In the 70s. Gen X kids usually had a lot of freedom. We call the
Mm-hmm.
kids. Parents left us alone pretty much. 11, 12 years old. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
you had a lot of freedom to go about. Um, New York at that time in the late '70s, yeah, it was pretty bad. In some areas it was pretty bad. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, but in some ways it was a lot better. Everyone knew each other on the block. I knew my neighbors.
Chickpea, do you want to come on here? Chickpea is telling me off for saying that you know the older crowd had it easier. Let me see who's here now. Our brother Marcus is here.
It's all
Add to
subjective.
stage. Yes, it is indeed. Exactly. It's kind of an outrageous statement to make. I'm very sorry. I apologize. Uh, but I'm kind of on the hoof here, panicking. All systems down, using a crappy Chinese smartphone to try and communicate to the world. But
You
brother
sound all right.
Marcus,
You sound all
is
right.
it?
Yeah, you sound all
Wow,
right.
wow.
Okay.
Do I sound better than normal, brother Marcus? Now that I'm using my phone to talk to you,
Actually,
but
you kind of do, actually.
Oh,
that's insane. Oh, do you know what? Do you know what the funny thing is? I could probably actually do this right from my fucking phone. Actually, that's. I wonder can I manage that? But in the meantime, brother
well,
Marcus,
I
it's
do know
good
that
to.
I use
Sorry.
StreamYard, and some people with their phones, StreamYard overheats their phones, and their voice starts crackling and stuff.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah. So my phone might explode in my hand. Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen?
but
Wow.
you're good.
But
You're good. I don't know if you're using
definitely
Stream.
my laptop. Sorry, it's my laptop, not my desktop. I said desktop, but it's a laptop.
You use,
It, I don't know what happened. It just started going all buggy on the StreamYard site.
Is it just the
well,
StreamYard site or your computer in general?
Yeah. Just
well,
the
you know what?
StreamYard
It could
site.
be the
I mean,
StreamYard's added some features, and it seems like every time they
I
add
don't
a
know.
feature, they create a bug.
Mm.
Did you
I mean-
clear your cache and cookies?
Yeah, I was going to say go to the cache, isn't it, and clear that. Yeah, I did that on the. I'm using Google.
Chrome.
What do you call it?
Chrome.
Chrome. Sorry. So yeah, I did that. It didn't work, but never mind. Do you want me to keep going, guys? Do you want me to do the actual stream, or do you want to chit chat tonight?
Go whatever you
up to you.
want.
Whatever you
Sounds
want.
I
Manufactured
mean, listen.
conspiracies.
Yeah,
Go.
listen. I tell you what, right? It's kind of flustered me, and it's already gone half an hour, and I haven't done it. So I'll leave it for the night if that's okay, guys, and I'll do it tomorrow or something. I'll try and
Your
do it
show.
tomorrow.
Your channel.
Yeah, I'll try and do it tomorrow now. But we'll have a little. Is that all right, brother Marcus?
Captain.
Oh dear, ship's sinking if I'm the captain. But right. So welcome again to everybody who's there. There's about 7 people. Do come on and have a word. Chickpea's hiding in the shadows, and I don't know why. You know, she's well able to talk. I do apologize, Chickpea, for saying that you had it easy. I apologize. Okay.
She'll get over it. You apologize. She'll get over it.
Yeah.
We still have that banner up, though. You know, one moment, please. Tech issues.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of that now. We've kind of given up on that. So
what part of the world?
Hello to anybody watching on Twitter, by the way. You're welcome to come on as well. There's a few people, newbies, who have subscribed. There's a lot of subscribers on Twitter now, but I don't think they're interested in the show necessarily. They're kind of there's this thing on Twitter now where verified people follow each other to get like enough verified followers so that they can start making money by posting content on it, you know. But you have to have a serious amount of I don't think I'd ever get to that stage, because you have to have like 5 million like views in a month or something like that. It's just a crazy amount, you know.
On Twitter.
Yeah, it's quite a. It seems to be like a. You need a lot of views to make any money on it, you know. And you need to have 500 verified people watching you or subscribe to you. One second.
Are you talking about Twitter or YouTube? Or I didn't know Twitter. X
Sorry, Twitter. X.com. X.com. Yeah.
I guess you have to have a premium account too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Okay. People seem to be making money on TikTok too.
I'm gonna actually. No, I won't change the title of the stream because that will cause too many problems. I might conk out on my phone. I might conk out on my phone because this phone is precarious. Believe me. I've got one of these phones, right? I probably shouldn't say this on the internet, but because I might get hacked into something. But I've got one of these phones that you can just throw, and it's an armored phone. Okay, so you can actually like drop it, and nothing's going to happen, even though it's a smartphone. It's kind of built for like builders and DIY people and stuff. And yeah, just outdoors, you know, because I do spend a lot of time outdoors and stuff. You know, walking around and going to the woods and the parks and stuff. And sometimes I do DIY and stuff. So this is yeah, waterproof, drop proof, all those things, dust proof. Yeah. And it was quite cheap as well. I've had it a long time. So yeah. Anyway, I don't see the point. I'm not somebody who spends a lot of money on technology, because I think that some of the budget stuff can do as good. Clearly not microphones though, Brother Marcus, because I do suck with my microphone. But in general, you know, I don't see the point in splashing out too much money on tech for personal use. You know. I mean, I'd never buy an iPhone now. I remember I got wrapped up in the whole iPhone shit back in the day, and I had an iPhone, brand new iPhone when it first came out. You know, I was one of those people that jumped on it, and I did that for a while, different versions. But you know, then I realized, what's the point? You know, especially nowadays, because what do you use it for? You use it for a few apps and a bit of YouTube, you know, a bit of WhatsApp, and you know, a basic smartphone can do that quite very well usually. So go ahead and spend 1,000 or more on a smartphone, but don't be sad when you break it or it gets stolen. You know.
Let's have experience. Well, I've had my I have an 11. I had it a while though, probably since new, and I'm not looking to upgrade if I don't have to. You know, I don't want to spend the you know. And yeah, like I only use a couple of apps.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at the kind of what
I
you're
use a lot
using it for.
Video. Yeah, pictures and videos. I use up the memory quickly. That's an
Yeah.
issue.
Oh, that's one thing. You know, people are obsessed with the cameras and stuff. Oh, this one's got 4 different fucking lenses, and you know, yeah.
So it all depends what you're looking to do again, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, if some of them are very good, you could use. I suppose if it was good, you could make really good videos and stuff. But yes, I'm quite happy with my little, my cheap version. It does what I need it to do. You know, takes a few pictures and videos here and there.
What part of the world you in?
I'm in the UK, in London.
Another person from UK. I have a couple of friends from the UK that come on the channel. What are you looking to do with your channel here, Finding Gnosis?
Well, we just kind of hang out and try and talk about things that we find strange about this reality. Even a lot of the time, we talk about how bad this reality is, and like a lot of people here have no hope in it. But they don't have any hope in this reality. They're very ultra hard pessimists, so they don't think there's much we can even do about how bad it is. I myself am someone who is, I don't even believe in free will. I'd like there to be some free will, but I can't see it being the case. So generally speaking, yeah, I am a kind of pessimist, but I'm kind of like I've broken through the pessimism to ultra hard pessimism, which is in my view realizing, yes, it is a hellscape reality. There are people suffering all around, and you will suffer. Every one of us is going to suffer and die, perhaps horrifically. It is hell in many ways, but it's so bad. You're kind of forced to try and do something about it, even though you think it might be futile. You know, that's how pessimistic my views are. Like I'm forced to try and counteract the terribleness of this reality.
So you're
by trying to do. Sorry.
Are you a pessimistic determinist?
Yeah, I would say that's fair enough. But I also have hope, and I think I recognize a lot of people get annoyed by the word hope, like as if it's some kind of disease or something. They run away from me when I say it, but I still have hope, and I still hope for better for myself and others, for the species as a whole, for all species.
Wait, hope for what? Hope for
well,
what?
I hope for better. I
want to challenge your belief. Better, but better? How can it be better if it's already determined?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I hope that there is a way. Either I hope that the determined. Hold on a second. It could get better, even though it is determined. It could be determined to get better. Exactly. But also, I do hope sometimes that I might discover like a free will, and that we can break out of the.
See, I kind of describe myself as an optimistic realist.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be so hopeful. I'm out there like fairyland, and think somebody on a white horse is coming to save me. But I'm gonna be realist about what's happening, what's going on. But I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. I believe you need to stay optimistic.
Why?
Yeah, I think I think you do have to, as I say, you have to craft hope in your favor. You know, you have to, like, you're
You
gonna
guys are
everyone
saying
like,
you have to, but why?
well, because I think I think you have it. In my view, brother Marcus, you have hope no matter what. Even the ultra hard pessimists who say there's no hope, uh, they still have it in my view. Because, for example, if you end up topping yourself, right? In my view, you, whether you like it or not, there is some hope there in that you're hoping that's a cessation of your torment, okay? And you're hoping that there won't be more, you know.
In
Now
terms
I know,
of
brother.
topping yourself, I agree with you. That's why I'm against it. I agree with you.
Yeah,
That's not,
So
in my opinion,
basically,
that's not pessimistic. And most philosophical pessimists, like the philosophy, they don't advocate
yeah.
for that.
No, I know, but I was just giving that as an example, like of someone who might be so pessimistic about this reality and say that, you know, there's no such thing as hope. But I think that there is always hope. It's something that we all have, whether we like. And I'm just using that as an example, whether you like it or whether someone likes it or not. Someone might say to me, there's no hope isn't real, but you still have it, okay? I mean, even if someone is off that mindset and tops themselves, they personally, that is an act of hope. They're hoping that
Do
they're
you have
either
another
going to end their
example other
suffering.
than that?
Um,
Because I'm not in favor of that, so like I can't relate to it.
no, I'm not in favor of suicide either, because I just said, basically, I think we don't know what this reality
What
is.
if someone's
Sorry?
determined? What if someone's determined to be suicidal?
Well, that's how I currently view things.
Right.
But
So how
I see it as a tragedy, though.
it is, it could be, it is a tragedy, but for some it could be, you know, trying to put an end to, say, some terminal illness or some kind of pain that's, you know, there's no hope of going away.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is distinctions in how I view it. Like, for example, there are people who kill themselves because of mental anguish or whatever, and then there's people who kill themselves because of physical pain, and then there's differences in the physical pain. Even some of it's because of terminal pain, a terminal disease. Other times it could be because of a chronic pain that seems to be incurable. You know,
Right.
so yeah, I'm trying to. So I'm trying to collect my thoughts here.
If you believe that one has, like, you know, sovereignty over their own body, and if that's the way they, you know, if they wish to, you know, end themselves because of such pain and anguish, maybe they, yeah, should have the right to do that.
Well, I'm not stopping anybody from doing anything, but all I'm saying is I think hope is a fundamental part of being human, and seeing as we all have it, you may as well try
Yes.
and craft it in your favor. Okay, and what I mean by that is you may as well have a hope for the future. That's, you know, you may as well be optimistic to some
Right.
degree about the future, but
Right.
but not delusionally so. But then
Right.
sometimes I wonder, does it even matter if you're delusional? Because if that's keeping you happy in the moment, yeah, and not harming anybody, well, what's the problem? You know, because it
Yeah, I actually
increases the
don't
well-being.
object to the optimist, like choosing to be optimistic. It's the what sounded like a prescription to the pessimist that they must be optimistic, and I reject that part.
Okay,
Like, if
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter, then let the pessimist be pessimistic.
Yeah.
Well,
If you want.
it depends on the level, I think, of despair. You know, that it might be bringing the individual. You know what I mean? Some people can't handle it, and I understand that. You know, some people can't, and you know,
I'm going
that's
to try to
difficult.
exhaust any kind. If there's a problem that arises,
Mm.
I'm going to exhaust every solution. You know, and that's where I guess the hope is, because if you can't find the answer the first time, look for another time. Look. Don't give up, quote unquote, hope. Be optimistic. You can find an answer. But then the realistic part is me. All right, I've done all I can do. You know,
Black Hole, are you drinking soda?
Yes, I love soda. Soda's
Okay, that
great.
sounded like
I
an
love-
ASMR like soda commercial.
My favorite is Mountain Dew. Do the do. So
You're
much
doing
to
the
say,
do? Okay.
so little time, guys. There's so much to
my
say
opinion
about
is
this
Pepsi.
crazy existence that's based off of paper.
Well,
Paper.
one thing I miss is I miss Perpetual Pleasurist coming on here, because that guy used to say some, you know, interesting have interesting insights. I hope he's all right. I did comment on his channel a while
name
back.
is
He
Actual pleasure.
Perpetual Pleasurist. It's another YouTuber.
Oh.
But he used to often talk about these things called sacred delusions. Okay, and I do agree with him. It's like we all have
I
our
just remember
delusions,
pasting
right?
all my
Huh?
favorite videos of YouTube on my channel last night, and you were one of them. The one about
Okay.
hell, that we're all living in hell. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so Perpetual Pleasurist talks about you know, sacred delusions is what he calls them, and we all have our like mental copes in life. You know, how we frame reality just to get through it. And you could go down like the Vessel Zaf route and look at the 4 ways he views that we try to escape the torment of reality, right? But we have delusions sometimes about how we perceive reality, and we accept things as true that we can't prove, etc., etc. And these things help us to get through. And what he calls them is sacred delusions. Now, I like that terminology because some delusions do help you, even if they're batshit crazy. They do help you, you know. And he calls them sacred delusions because without them, you would be in an absolute pit of hell. Okay, and I find that an interesting perspective. But as someone who is a natural depressive, I find it hard to accept or embrace sacred delusions or delusional thinking, you know, because when I go outside, I'm kind of like, this is it. I think I am anyway. Other people might say I'm not, but I like to think I see things as they are a lot of the time. Other people might say I'm not, though. They might say I'm looking through matters too much from a depressive lens, and that's not reality. But yeah, I see reality through a depressive lens. But I do admire people who have found a way to cope, mentally speaking, that is delusional, that gives them happiness, and doesn't hurt anybody else. I suppose I used to get annoyed about people, you know.
So you rather be blissfully ignorant than
Well, no. Let me have a caveat there. I'd rather we were all blissfully ignorant, because the problem is, if it's just me blissfully ignorant, well, I'm happy, yes, but others aren't, and that to me that's a problem. You know, I'd like an egalitarian state of blissful ignorance. You know, but again, this is all just hypothetical nonsense because it's unattainable, and I suppose the only way that would be attainable would be like the mass acceptance of a Neuralink or something in our brains that just excited us to the point of. Sorry.
Religion served this sacred delusion.
Yeah, religion does, but religion doesn't work for everybody, does it? That's what I'm saying. There's not, as I say, I don't see a problem with it if it's across the board and everybody's doing it. But the truth is, we can't do it. That's part of our nature as human beings. We a lot of us don't accept the status quo. We want because we know a lot. Often it's just like it's a band-aid over a festering wound. And we're looking for something. We're looking for the panacea. We're looking for something that will cure all, you know, and that isn't false, you know.
Very good. Very good.
Yep. Very good. Amen.
Anybody else want to come on here, guys? I will do another stream tomorrow, and I apologize for this. I'll do another stream tomorrow where I actually.
We all love you, don't we? It's all good.
I'll do an actual stream on this
I've had debates
manufacturing consent tomorrow.
pretty on a regular basis. We kind of have discourse on my channel. Usually, it's about religion and politics. And though I will debate with people about what they believe and why they believe it, I do understand that there is a purpose that it can hold. Like your friend said, you want to call it sacred delusions, or you want to call it comforting lies. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I recognize the purpose, but I also, I am honest, I'm an agnostic. I don't fucking know what's going on in this reality.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll have to finish my thought. If I could finish my thought.
Sorry, my friend.
It's okay. That for some, and I think it's a small percentage of those people that if they left religion, that they would kind of be like psycho and maybe really hurt somebody. To those people, you know what? Believe your delusions. Please stay in your belief if it keeps you sane. Everyone else, though, maybe we should entertain skepticism.
Yes. And it's funny because that was actually one of the key points, the kind of thing I was going to talk about, healthy skepticism tonight. I was going to talk about that in terms of questioning the narratives put out by media, governments, corporations, etc. So yeah, I would agree though, in general, it's good to question things and have healthy skepticism. In regards to what you talk about, sacred delusions and spirituality and religion and stuff, I mean, I ebb and flow on this. I mean, I've gone through different periods in life where I've been a believer and then an atheist and then agnostic and then an atheist. At the moment, I'm an agnostic, okay? But I would say I'm agnostic in that I don't have a religion. I don't have a theology, okay? But I would say I am walking through the door into thinking there is something beyond the veil. And it is significant metaphysically in that there is possibly some kind of spiritual component. Now, I don't know whether I'm part of it. Okay, I don't know whether we're part of it. I don't know what is going on, but it seems to me that things like consciousness. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm admitting I don't know whether I'm a part of it. I don't know whether I'm manifested by it, as in like, and I'm just a blip that comes and goes and has no real connection to the eternity of it, or whether we all are part of this eternal phenomenon, if it exists. But I'm agnostic to it. But I'm moving towards believing that there is more that meets the eye to this. There's more than materiality, and by that I mean there's some kind of, I don't even like the word spiritual, but that's all I've got in my vocabulary, in my arsenal for words. I wish there was a better word, but I feel like there is something about consciousness that may extend beyond our earthly experience of it as individuals.
Consciousness is key.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now,
message from Black Hole today.
People will call it spiritual. Now, I think there could be a very scientific model that could explain it, and it may not even be spiritual. It may have a basis in science. The experiments may be able to, you one day or maybe we'll never be able to do it. But if we had extrasensory ability, we might be able to understand it. You know what I mean? It might have
It's a matter of what state that consciousness is in. It's a matter of what state that consciousness is in. It's a matter of what state that consciousness is in. What level of awareness that consciousness is in.
But it does seem, yes, I understand what you're saying, Black Hole, but I will say one thing about levels of consciousness. It doesn't seem that anybody here should get any applause for attaining enlightenment.
Yes, because the level of consciousness in this world is despicable. Yes,
Yeah, but I would say one thing on that. I don't believe in too much harsh words, because, as I said, I don't know if I believe in free will. So I think this could well just be like we're being run through a mill for some reason. And learning this, that, and the other. But by the way, I don't. Sometimes I can't see any other way. So it could be just like reality is just purely running consciousness through the mill, refining it, or maybe not even refining it, just randomly subjecting it to experience. And there may not be any actual meaning in it. It may just be happening as a phenomenon. So this is one of my thoughts sometimes, that it just happens. And your consciousness may continue, or it may become part of the whole later on, or it may be recycled and come out again. I don't know. But the point is, this phenomenon of consciousness that manifests in reality, it may just be happening and keep happening, and it may seem spiritual, but it could also just be, as I said, just something that happens and will keep happening, and you can't control it because it's deterministic. That's the scary bit.
You have to stay refined, because we all wake up each morning with a new mindset. I know what you're getting at. We all wake up with a new mindset each morning. And the ultimate goal is to just simply love each other. And no matter how long that may take, it might take for who knows how long that might take for that to happen.
I mean, I like to think sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I changed my avatar. And this is a metaphor I like to use, and this is how I approach life. Okay, I mean, the waves are a constant. This is nature. This is the waves that are constant, right? And I'm the surfer. I have to learn how to surf those waves of life. I learn to balance, ride, and with practice, you ride bigger waves, you ride longer, So that's how I see it. There's this constant, and then there's me. This constant is the waves, and then there's me making the decisions and stuff, and riding the wave. And I think that's my kind of metaphor, how I see life and how I try to deal with life. I'm riding a wave.
Yeah, brother, that's a good metaphor, man. And you know that wave could come down, crashing down at any moment, but you don't know when it's going to happen. But in the meantime, you're going to keep riding that wave, trying to enjoy it and trying to make the most out of it. Learning as you go along. But as I say, I've done surfing before when I was, in my early 20s, and I remember learning how to surf, and it was quite the process. First of all, you do that. You start off in the less crazy water, and you're lying on the board, with your belly on it, and you're trying to jump onto the board. You're trying to get up onto it. Is the first part of learning as the tides coming in. But you're learning from what's happened before, and you're trying to continue. No, and surfing is an interesting thing. It's a good analogy, because it's going to end, but yet you're still doing it. It's like the journey. It's not the ending that matters. It's the journey of being a surfer. It's the journey of riding that wave, and it's going to end, and you don't enjoy the ending, but you enjoy the journey.
Here's the other thing, my friend. Cycles. There's all seasons. And when we're going through tough times, and, no doubt, tough for many these days, right?
You baby.
Some of the hope that you got to have, too, is that though you're going through winter, spring is right around the corner. I mean, we're going right into spring now. And the hope that I can get through winter is that I know the weather's going to get warmer. Shit's going to start to grow. I'm going to hear the birds chirp. It's going to get better. The cycles. I can depend on the cycles of the universe and life.
It's always a crazy cycle that we're in. We keep going round and round, and we try to keep finding meaning. The meaning is to just do the best we can until we, quote unquote, die, and hopefully go to a better place other than this realm. You guys agree with me there?
I agree with you. I don't know what Brother Joe is thinking on about it. By the way, Brother Marcus just dropped out. I hope they come back.
Free will. everything is always about free will. We create everything. It's always about consciousness. We create this reality, which is so full of evil.
Okay, Brother Marcus.
Don't get me started again. You remember how hard of a time I gave you about a month ago. It's always about free will guides this universe, as universe is consciousness, and this I am consciousness. You can call it God, you can call it whatever you want, but we are all humans existing temporarily on this earth. One day we will perish. Every night when we go to sleep, where do we go? Where do we go? We must be going beyond this realm.
Wait.
We got to be going beyond this realm. Otherwise, it's just.
I'm in my bed sleeping.
Sleep is a temporary escape from this world. It's like
is it not just like biochemical, bioelectrical signals in the brain causing brain signals to imagine things happening? And I've been having some crazy dreams. By the way, Brother Marcus, you were in a dream of mine recently. You should come on. Let me have a little think of that dream I had.
Beyond this body. Do you believe that
I dreamt Brother Marcus gave me a washing machine, believe it or not. There you go. That was a weird dream. Brother Marcus, you came into my dream and gave me a washing machine. And basically, that was a very strange dream I had that day. I dreamt that I was in a house. Some family members were there, and a washing machine. I needed a washing machine for my room, and Brother Marcus sent a washing machine. And the reason he sent the washing machine is because he'd ordered one as well. Okay, and basically he got a note from the manufacturer, whoever sent it to him, saying, "I'm sorry, the washing machine was not delivered." But the thing is, he'd already got it, and the note said, "We will try to deliver it again." But he had already received the washing machine. Now, Brother Marcus didn't act. By the way, this isn't a true story, so it's not a stain on his character. But he didn't tell the washing machine company that he'd already received the washing machine. So unbeknownst to them, they thought he hadn't received it, and they sent out another one, which he happily received, and he donated it to me. He gave me a washing machine. And it was a washing dryer, a very strange thing to dream about, but I dreamt about that. And in the same dream, I walked into another room, and someone I knew was wrestling with a leopard.
Let me stop you right there. I don't know what you're trying to get at. This is a world of deception. Everything is upside down. This world is hell. That's what you're trying to tell me, right?
I wasn't actually trying to tell you that. I was just trying to tell you a wacky dream I had.
I already know.
I mean, we can do a kind of Freudian analysis of it if we want. I mean,
I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. Yeah. I already know we're in hell. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, man. I wouldn't even be on.
Right. The thing is, though, it could be worse, and
that's right.
That's a scary thought.
It'll always be worse. It can always be worse. The real hell would be a nice, beautiful place with spring coming, and then and it can always be worse. It'd be a place where you don't even realize that it's hell.
Though if I lost every limb and you told me that, I'd probably spit in your face.
Because look at all these people. Look at all these people that are suffering, man. All these children that are suffering, and parents that are bringing them here. It's a pain in the ass, man. Come on, guys. It's a pain in the neck. Don't bring kids here. It's not a good idea. Everybody thinks that bringing kids here is a good idea, and it's just
you
not.
Anti-natalist.
No, I'm never going to bring no kids here. If I do anything, it's going to be just adopting somebody, or just having a dog or cat, or just playing friends with my buddies on TV or whatever, and just doing it with myself, man. That's all it's going to be for me, man.
Anti-natalist.
I'm an anti-natalist all the way, man.
But what about?
At the same time, I do believe that there's a creator of this universe, and it goes beyond our understanding, and that we need to.
I would say black hole. At this juncture, I want to say to Brother Joe here that's joined us.
Joe.
I used to have hardcore antinatalist beliefs myself, but now I am personally somebody who believes that complex situations don't have simple answers. Okay, And
Oh, that's
I
good.
do believe I do
That's good.
I do believe that
I believe that we're all
this reality. Yeah, no,
We
this
we
reality.
create our reality.
It's a
We
bit
can
like.
create
Listen, sorry,
whatever
Black Hole.
reality
Sorry,
we
Black
want.
Hole.
I can only hear one
Sorry,
of you
Black
at a
Hole.
time.
Yeah, Black Hole. Sorry, brother. I would say it's a bit like that Jewish proverb. Okay. I can't remember it exactly, so I'm going to bastardize it as I try to remember it. But it's something like, you know, better never to have been, like, one could say it's better never to have been born, but but name 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 10,000 that is so lucky. As in, like, no one is lucky enough never to have experienced the suffering of this world, right? Or the horrors of it, right? For some reason, we came into being and we couldn't do much about it. You just found yourself here. Now,
We're just here, man.
I'm not telling people. I'm not. Can I keep? Brother, let me talk.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm not telling anybody what to do. Either way, all right. It's up to them as individuals. But I'm not going to judge people harshly because I realize this world is subjective. Okay, and also I realize, and I'm going to write about this. And I listen. I've got a lot to say about it eventually, but I realize there are forces beyond us. All right, and this is a massive thing. Okay. There's forces beyond us, whether it's from scientific perspective, which I would concentrate on, or some might say a spiritual perspective, which I don't know anything about, and I wouldn't actually concentrate on that. But it is interesting to think about. But I wouldn't use that as a basis for making a decision on matters. What I will say is, reality is extremely complex. Extremely complex. Yeah, I didn't always think the way I did. I've had different views.
I love you. I love you so much. Yeah.
Well, anyway, reality is extremely complex, and there are no simple solutions to extremely complex situations. When you and us and all of us, we exist within that which has created us. Okay, we exist fundamentally to serve our biological imperative to survive. Okay, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I think a lot of stuff is, unfortunately, whether people like it or not, a lot of stuff is pro-survival, pro-life. Even what appears to be, at first instance or first look, something that seems to be anti-survival. And I'll give you an example. In nature, there are species of ants. Okay, that they go around hunting on the forest floor looking for this or that. But sometimes they come up against bigger ants from different species that are carnivorous and want to eat them, and they're colony of ants. And what these ants do is they explode. These ants explode, and that sends a pungent mess into the air. And it maybe causes the carnivorous predator ant to recoil and move away. But what it also does is it sends a message to the other ants. Okay. And so they're able to run back to the colony to defend it and to hide or whatever, to get away from the predator, so that survival happens. And I do I was thinking about this the other day, and I think that, when one utters this world is hell, or when one points out the bleakness of reality, okay, we must remember we're not within a vacuum. There are other people in this world who don't necessarily, first of all, there's ones that don't agree with you, okay? So they fundamentally do not agree with you. They're having a great time. They do not see what you see. They will fundamentally ignore you because you're not on their radar, okay? The only people that might pay attention to you are the people who are having a somewhat bad experience, okay? And they understand, or they've had a somewhat bad experience in the past, and they understand, somewhat what the taste of despair, mental suffering, physical agony is. Okay, they might take on board what you're saying and analyze it. Okay, but that is not to say that they will agree, because the human and the animal imperative is to survive. And what they will actually do is they will analyze what you're saying, and they will look at many things. They'll look at the context as to why you're saying it, who you are, maybe the historical significance of it, like where you are in time and space. Okay, they will look at as many matters as they can, their mind can muster, to try and analyze what you're saying, so that, not because they want to agree with you, but because they want to disagree with you, and they want to survive. And what they'll actually do is they'll come up with it in their mind, and you'll have an opinion subjectively on this. They'll come up with a reason in their mind as to why you're either right or wrong. And more than likely, it will be why you're wrong. And that's what they'll utilize to go forth. They'll be thinking, and the reason they do this is because you are like that exploding ant who has faced danger and has sent a message to others. You are an exploding ant. You are sending out a pungent mess into the species, right? But to warn others that there's danger, that this world is dangerous. And what they're doing is they're looking. What they're doing is
wonderful.
What they're doing is they're receiving this pessimistic message, this pessimistic outlook, right? And they're analyzing and saying, "There's danger. Get away. What can we do about this?" That's ultimately what you're doing. You are sending a negativity out, and what you're doing is you're causing other people to say, "What can I do about this to counteract this so that I survive?" Now the ants will run back to their colony, okay, and hide. Humans will provide an automatic response because we are reflective beings, okay, that will come from the core of their subjective values that they have picked up here and there through life via A, their experience, or B, their conditioning, okay? And all it is you are causing a reaction to come out from your explosion of negativity. And as in such, it serves the survival of the species because they analyze it and they're going to say to themselves, how can I not be this person? How can I make sure my loved ones are not this person? So it is actually pro-life. And this is the same happens when someone commits suicide. When someone commits suicide, unfortunately, it may be a sacrifice of an individual, but on the whole, others will look at it and try to stop themselves or others replicating or being like that person. So in a weird kind of way, if you zoom out, the act of an individual killing themselves becomes pro-life on the whole if others find out about it, okay? Because they don't want that to happen to their loved ones. So they try and build a system that protects life so that it thrives and survives and doesn't have more people like that killing themselves. Now, you might say, well, what about the person who kills themselves in the woods where nobody sees it? You know, it's a bit like there's a bear shit in the woods if nobody sees it. But if someone hangs themselves from a tree in the woods and nobody else knows about it, right? You might say to me, that is an example of an individual negative perception that is not pro-life. But the point is, the mere fact they did it in isolation and nobody found out is also pro-life because nobody else found out, therefore nobody was questioned, therefore the pro-life narrative can continue rolling on through time and space. So I would argue, and I will write about this soon, I would argue that everything is more or less pro-life if you look at it through that lens of animal behavior, evolutionary psychology and biology. So yeah, I'll stop my little rant now. Thank you. Sorry, and I scared someone off. There's
always going to be somebody higher than you. There's always going to be somebody higher than you. There's always going to be somebody better or somebody worse. That's the message. Do I have that right?
Say that again.
There's always going to be somebody stronger or somebody weaker than this hell realm. And our goal is to hopefully eventually help each other and move beyond this hell realm. How's that?
Yes, I mean, you can look at it like that, but I'm just saying it kind of matter of fact. I wasn't actually...
That's just one way.
I wasn't trying to imbue it with a directive as to which way we should go. I was just merely stating how I see it as a matter of fact,
We're just all here trying to survive and hopefully eventually arrive at a better place.
Yes.
Like that?
I would say everything, whether we like it or not, is focused on survival. And if it's not of the individual, if it's of the species.
Absolutely.
Okay, correct. So this is why I think that this is one of the reasons I'm not AN anymore. Or on the whole, is
correct.
I see that there's a futility in certain things, whether I like it or not. And it's bigger than me. It's bigger than my aspirations. It's bigger than my my desires, you know.
Always gonna
And
be something, man.
I listen. It's
There's
very
always gonna be
complex shit.
something.
Sorry.
Yeah. There's always going to be something.
But by the way, I'm sorry if I scared Brojo's Cafe off.
I think I might have scared him off. I'm the black hole. Nobody wants to get us sucked into the black hole, man. I'm just kidding.
Well, brother, Brojo, it was nice to have you with us whilst you were here. Anybody else want to come on here? Just
anybody wants to join us? How long would you like to continue the live tonight? I still am debating if I want to go to church tonight.
Church? What type of church?
Just a regular higher church beyond the regular church that you know. It's close to where my parents live.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that.
So what type of what affiliation is it then, if you don't mind sharing?
Just singing and believing on something beyond this world.
That's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying.
I don't want to. I know I'm on your panel and everything. I don't want to say anything out of line. I know.
No, there's nothing. What do you mean? It's freedom of expression. You can say what you want. Go ahead.
It's just Great Faith Church in Oklahoma City. I don't want to give my address or anything, but it's a very nice church, and it really is uplifting, and it helps you in any state of consciousness. I would recommend it. It goes beyond the human mind and all the crazy inflation nonsense that's going on in today's crazy world beyond the pandemic. Let's just put it that way.
So it's a Christian church, is it?
It's just, I wouldn't even call it Christian church. It's beyond a church. It's more like a spirit house. A spirit house.
Okay. Okay. So, Black Hole, while you're there,
I'll be quiet about that. I'll be quiet
no,
about that for now.
While you're there, can you tell us about any kind of weird, significant, kind of strange, paranormal, spiritual experiences you've had in life?
Oh, well, I'd be happy to. I'd love to do it with myself and not bring kids into this world. Please don't remove me.
No, I'm talking about your paranormal or spiritual experiences. Have you had any?
Paranormal? I've never had anything more than a movie or a music or a video game in my entire life. But I do believe that there are beings beyond this realm, and I believe that we will all return there someday. How's that sound?
Why do you believe that? That's what I'd like to know.
Because I believe that I am consciousness and that everybody is, and that we are not just zombies wandering through some rabbit hole matrix. Of course, my channel is all about black hole rabbit hole matrix, going back into Wonderland. I believe that we're more than that. I believe that we are consciousness and that we can create whatever reality we want, and that we will persevere one day.
Okay. Yeah, Brother Marcus says, are you clicking something? There is a clicking coming from your microphone. What is it? Do you know what it is? Black hole?
No,
he's not talking.
I'm not clicking anything.
Oh, okay. Because it's not me this time. So if you want black hole, when you're not talking, just mute it.
Okay.
And then unmute it when. But guys, I do need somebody to step up and join the conversation because I want to conserve some of my energy because I'm going to have to do another stream tomorrow. And then I've got the one on Friday.
Black Hole has said, you know, I think Black Hole has said all he needs to say for this fine stream. Anybody else wants to come up is more than welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Black Hole, it would be good to keep you here anyway because, we do need to have more than one person. And as I said, I'm just going to try and conserve energy because I have to do another stream tomorrow and on Friday. I had the one scheduled on Friday, which I'll go ahead with. I don't want to fall, behind.
Let me just say I love your channel and I hope to be a fine subscriber and on your panel for many, many days to come.
All right, Black Hole. You're welcome.
Thank
And I hope that your experience later goes well. So
I'm just
there's
another
about 8 people
subscriber.
watching. There's a guest coming in here now. Oh, it's Brother Marcus. Add
I'm
to
just
stage.
another. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm just another fine subscriber of YouTube that made a channel, and I hope that everybody comes to the YouTube magic and finds all wonderful friends and finds some kind of peace in this rabbit hole, black hole matrix. How about that? Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
How's
Well, it's
your
good you
YouTube
have
channel going?
Brother
Black Hole. That
Marcus,
was for
welcome.
you.
How's your YouTube channel going?
That's
Oh,
for
can
you,
guys
Black
not
Hole.
hear me? Yeah. Black
I
Hole,
can
how's
hear
your
you.
YouTube channel going?
Black Hole, you're muted.
My channel
Or
is
whatever.
doing
Go ahead.
fine. I was thinking about taking a break, but I'm about to reach 800 videos, and I'm about to reach 90 subscribers, and I just might keep on going here if this little panel goes well. So there's your answer. Thank
So,
you,
Brother
brother.
Marcus, I see. Brother Marcus, I see you have a new prime minister. How do you feel about it?
We do? Oh my god. I did not look into that. I was
Okay.
watching a Zelensky interview with Lex Friedman. I'm not even paying attention to my own country.
Well, I think it was a couple of days ago, or maybe I got it wrong, but you can check it now if you want. I think I'm right.
Oh, it looks like they have a new party leader. I don't know if that's.
Oh,
Oh wait, no.
sorry.
Does Canada's new prime minister? Okay, I don't. Who is this person? What the heck?
Well, he seems to be Trudeau's replacement. Like it's on the same side as Trudeau, so it's not gone over to the.
Okay, it's Mark Carney. That doesn't ring off. Well, I mean, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna look into him tonight. I don't know anything about this guy.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you know anything?
Well, he came across well. He came across better. Just from superficial kind of, first listening, he came across much
superficially,
better than
like our leaders are kind of. They don't look crazy.
No, well, I don't know. To me, sometimes Trudeau gave off that vibe. He came across
well later on, but I mean, like, in his early days, he came across like a pretty boy, right?
Well, I don't. Do you think it's just because we weren't? Yeah, maybe we weren't analyzing him enough, or maybe he was. Maybe it's because the world was in a different time, and basically there wasn't as much turmoil, so he wasn't being tested. Do you know what I mean? But I think the more he got tested, the more. Yeah, I think the more he got tested, the more we realized this boy's out of touch.
Yeah, but I meant like superficially, like if you look at
yeah. Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that superficial kind of analysis. I think it depends on the context of the time as well. Like if these hard times had been there when he came in, I think we would have noticed he was a bit out of his depth. Because I think he looks a little bit like I don't know. He doesn't have to me. He doesn't have the persona. He doesn't have the gravitas. Comes across as a this is by the way, he comes across as reading lines and he doesn't really.
He comes across like an actor almost.
Yeah, he does exactly that. He comes across as a soap actor.
Yeah.
Someone reading lines and out of touch with it. I mean, I don't know much about his background, but I don't think he ever really worked much. He never really kind of got involved in. He had a very privileged upbringing, didn't he? So I suppose it's bound to be the case. Not his fault either,
Well, I'm glad that
it is what it is.
Like it's that was many years of Trudeau. I mean, yeah. It's good to have some new blood, except for America. They probably I mean, if they wanted Trump, then I guess they get what they voted for. But
Chickpea, do you want to come on here? We're having a little chill out tonight. You're welcome to pop on here if you want to.
What's the UK's take on what's happening in Ukraine? Because I'm seeing a lot of people when that war started, I remember so many people being in solidarity with Ukraine, and now, wow, people are things have changed.
Well, I think I would say one thing. I think for the whole, I think for the most part, it's Ukraine supportive of Ukraine, but I think the segment of society that is pro ending the war in any way possible, and also pro Russia, I think that's grown, and it's very strange because I've noticed around the world, some right wing, like it's gone. Obviously, this is the right wingers are supporting like ending, but I've noticed around the world the right wing in this country are generally supportive of Israel, and then if you go to other parts of Europe, the right wing are pro-Palestine, which is really interesting. Like in Ireland, the right wing there is isn't pro-Israel, I don't think. And I'm not sure in France either. I don't think they are. So politics is very strange, because you get like I've said this before. You get like Republicans supportive of Russia, which is kind of which in like Russia, the Russian political system should be completely like something that the Republicans would decry in their own country. They wouldn't be supportive of it. You know what I mean? So we've got this very strange system in the world where there's just so much. My enemy's enemy is my friend, and all that goes on, and sometimes it's kind of the kind of you know what I'm saying.
My enemy is my friend. My enemy, my friend is my enemy. Have you guys ever seen Dick Tracy?
Yeah,
yeah.
My enemy, if my enemy is my enemy. My enemy, if my enemy is my enemy. That's a good movie, Dick Tracy. That's a good movie.
That was the detective, wasn't it? Did he have a yellow kind of like
yeah, Dick Tracy.
Was that played by
Al Pacino? Big Boy Caprice, played by Al Pacino. Man, the Godfather, the son Michael of anybody seen the Godfather? Man, the Mafia.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Al Pacino's a great actor, man.
What did Chickpea? You said David Benatar says it best. What was that in reference to?
Well, she's in love with David Benatar. She's absolutely. No matter what he says, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, she said she bought a few of his books. So I'm curious what she thinks.
Yeah. I think she just agrees with him no matter what he says. Sorry, Chickpea, you're a fangirl. You've been hoodwinked by your gender blindness, perhaps.
I don't think I've known a lot of Benatar fans, and everybody finds something they disagree like at some point.
Yeah. I mean,
which I think is healthy.
Thing is, it is healthy. Yeah, no one has all the answers in this world. No one is a god. We all have little bits of us that are right on some point, and bits of us that are wrong on others. It's just a matter of perspective. And it's a matter. It's just some of us. We're more wrong than right from other people's perspective. But just brushing my dog while I talk. Sorry about this.
How's your dog?
He's good. I brush him. Yeah, you have to brush dogs every day, otherwise they get like itchy skin. The brushing helps to activate the. It helps the oils, the natural oils in the skin, move around their coat. And stops them getting itchy. Keeps their coat healthy.
I was going to ask him a question, but he left.
Oh, did he leave?
Yeah.
What were you going
Black
to ask?
Hole, if you're around. Okay. I was going to ask him if he had any animals. Do you know?
No, I don't know much about Black Hole. But he did tell me tonight that he's going to church or some spiritualist thing. I found that interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like you went to that Buddhist stuff.
Yeah, but no, but that was a kind of experimental thing. This is something he's been going to, and he goes to it. He's a long-term user. He's got a particular. He wouldn't tell me what denomination it was or anything like that, but
I used to
somewhere
go to church
he said
as an atheist.
you used to go for
I like
but you used to go.
community
Did you go to the services, or did you go to the? Did you go to just the kind of studies?
I think I started off because I felt like it was kind of disrespectful to like they can tell if I'm walking in halfway or near the end. There was a time where I would just show up near the end, just so I could just like hang out with people afterwards and get because a lot of my neighbors and stuff, and I just wanted to keep connected. But yeah, during like Bible studies or discussions, they had this thing called the Alpha course.
Oh yeah, I've done that before. Oh my god, how terrible was that?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Oh,
you have like this video, and then you have a group discussion. I love.
I mean, yeah, it's funny because maybe I was just too cynical and angry at the time, but I just remember asking questions like I was asking questions like, well, you know, do any of you guys know where the Bible came from really? Why are you putting so much faith into these words when you don't even know really where they came from? And then I'd be talking about King Henry VIII starting the Anglican Church. And I was like, why are you guys in a church founded by a psychopath? You know, but he was a very intelligent man. And I was like, well, you know, some people might say Hitler was an intelligent man. It doesn't mean he was a good man. You know, just because someone's intelligent doesn't mean you should follow them. Anyway, they didn't really like me.
You sounded like a gotcha kind of person.
No, I was, yeah, I suppose. But also, I used. It was kind of.
There's a long history of all these religions and churches and belief systems, and we're all just trying to make sense of a nonsensical world, you know. And where did atheism take us? Down this route.
Yeah, so, like, yeah. This is what I mean. This is why I kind of do have jealousy and envy. Envy is the right word for like sacred delusions. People who found some kind of thing they attach themselves to without question that helps them and makes them happy, you know, and content and such. You know? For me now, it is actually knowledge. I'm trying to I attach myself to seeking knowledge and trying to find out more about reality, and that's kind of where I'm at. That gives me, I suppose, that gives me solace sometimes. But you know, I wouldn't know. I don't know if I'd call it a sacred delusion because I don't think I'm under any illusion of ever finding out what's going on. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I'm never going to learn it all.
No.
I remember when I started off atheist. Well, first I was Roman Catholic, then atheist, and
I didn't know you were like me then, Roman Catholic. Wow.
Christian apologetics, and then that opened me up to philosophy. And there was this transitionary period where I felt like I was trying to find answers, and then the more I learned about philosophy, that's when I had to come to terms with I'll never find the answer because it's just it's part of this broader existential conversation that's been happening for centuries, and I am comfortable with that now, knowing that I'll never figure it out. But I just enjoy the learning about the conversation and learning about all these different philosophies.
And we may also find the good thing about knowledge is we may not ultimately find out what is going on, but we may find new discoveries that show us errors in our previous thinking. You know, it doesn't mean that we'll find out ultimately what's going on, but you know, we will hopefully, and we have done before, so why not again find out that, you know, previous ways of thinking that we held were wrong. And I find that very interesting that, you know, there is human nature. And that's kind of the fundamental thing about being a human is the human nature of it. That doesn't really change. But what does change is our beliefs and what we understand about realities. Like, for example, we used to think we were the center of the universe, you know, and that the sun revolved around the earth, etc. But we discovered, and people used to believe the earth was flat and all these things. These were things people believed, and then later on they were proven wrong. But I'm not so sure whether that had a huge impact on human nature. I mean, I suppose the fact that we weren't the center of the universe has left a problem for some people, in that they believe that because we were the physical center of the universe, it meant we were special. But I mean, there's always apologetics. There's always someone who will come up with a counter way of looking at it. And I've heard that. Have you heard the argument that yes, we're still the center of the universe because, as far as we know, we are the only thing that can interpret or think of the universe. Therefore, we are the center of it. We're the one that gives it. We're the meaning of it. Without us, there would be no universe because there would be nothing to say it exists. So there's these people who provide a counter argument to show yes, we're still the center of the universe. Have you heard that one?
I haven't heard that one. No.
Yeah, they're saying it's not meant as a kind of literal physical thing. It's more of a metaphor for how important we are because we think.
On that meta level, maybe like if you're talking about like meaning or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But let's just check if there's anyone else here. I even bothered to make the slides myself this time.
Hey man, you'll get a second round tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you made the slides yourself. That's good.
Yeah. So, Poop, do you want to come on here? You talk about Julia Cabrera. I like Julia Cabrera. He's an interesting guy. I mean, he's an interesting guy in that he's not pro-abortion. You know that? I think that's really interesting.
Julio. Yeah, he's pro-life morally, but legally he what's it called? Like it's legally like he's not going to change the laws or anything like that. Yeah, I read the thing with him and Akerma. I don't know. I don't really. I'm confused by how Akerma articulates his thoughts compared to Cabrera. Like you got like a continental philosopher, and then you got like Benatar the analytic, and then you have Akerma who's.
I'm not really familiar with Akerma, so I don't know much about them. I know about Julia.
Oh, I recommend even skimming the book that they did. I don't even know.
Can you tell us, if you can you tell us a little bit about their thoughts? Maybe where they differ or how they
Cabrera appeals to his minimal ethical articulation argument, and Akerma, I don't actually know how he argued.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things that they have this little nuance, isn't it? That when you read it, it makes sense, but it's so nuanced that it's hard to remember. Probably something like that.
It's Julio. It's not Julio. I don't know if I wasn't sure if you were saying that as a joke.
Julio Cabrera. Yeah, no, it is Julio Cabrera. Yeah, it is. No, just because I read it, it is Julio Cabrera. Yeah.
But maybe Joker knows if they read that. It was supposed to be part of the Anti-Nihilism magazine. What I heard, their little conversation back and forth. But yeah, I can't even remember what Akerma argued for. It was obviously the pro-choice side, but I don't remember if it was based on bodily autonomy or based on some type of negative utilitarian perspective.
Yeah, but I think Cabrera was anti-abortion because he said, wasn't it? Once life exists, it's like someone else's body. They have autonomy themselves, and you can't.
Well,
you
I
don't
think
have the
you gotta
right.
be careful with that because he's morally. It's kind of like being morally against procreation, but you're not going to ban it like by the state.
So what you mean is he's not going to impose anti-abortion. Is that what
that's right?
Is that what you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same kind of way. It's the same way that he views animals, isn't he? It's the same kind of view about animals. We can't intervene. We shouldn't intervene in the wild because we haven't got the right to. They have their own he views them having like their own autonomy, agency, and it's outside of our scope to interpret, you know, as in to add human values to their way of being. You know, it's beyond our
OG animal rights movement used to be about that. It was a negative rights movement for animals. We leave them the fuck alone. But now, yeah, things have changed a bit, where people are advocating interventions and like a moral duty or I shouldn't say that word. You know, obligation, than a supererogatory claim, and that's been a shift. But yeah, Julio Cabrera, definitely. I think I read the Critique of Affirmative Morality, and I read the thing with him and Akerma. That's the only two. Oh well, he also wrote 2 papers on Benatar, which I think is worth reading. Because a lot of people don't agree with the asymmetry. Well, I don't even know how many people agree or disagree, but it's convinced people to reject the asymmetry, or maybe it was a justification for beliefs they already felt. Like
I mean, I like the asymmetry, and a lot of people have problems with it because isn't it the non-identity problem and all that, and there's no one there and all that.
it is a puzzle, which is what keeps me fascinated.
It is a puzzle, but you know, I think you can make the argument that it's good that no one suffers, you know, and it isn't bad that there's no one to miss out because there's no one there in the first place. You know?
I mean, if it's not true, the counter, like the opposite view, is wacky, where things like bringing beings that will suffer for like a few days, and it would be seen as either neutral or good at that point. And I know 2 people who have talked to me that said any experience, and I think it was in that one of the documentaries. I think
I've heard a lot of that. Yeah,
where someone does say it doesn't matter about the experience. It could be just pure torture as long as they have an experience. That's a positive. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that.
I'm like, okay, well, all right.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that. Yeah, it's about the experience, man. And the way they view it's a bit like the Christian view on like this life is but a grain of sand, you know, and it's so like short in terms of eternity that it's immaterial. Like it doesn't matter, you know, this life. They almost view it like that, you know. It's just a blip, and it serves some greater purpose, you know. So that's what really matters.
I read the first 10 pages of Discomfort and Moral Impediment. I heard the English translation is like half the book. Like the full book is like 500 pages or something.
You said recently that you were branching out into other areas of philosophy, right? Or you were thinking about other stuff?
Yeah, I was reading a book on animal ethics, and then I got distracted. Now I'm not even reading anything right now. I'm trying to catch up with work, and I tried to start Wessel Zoff's book on the tragic.
Oh yeah.
And
I saw that the translation, right?
Yeah, it's such a it's outside of my wheelhouse, and it's heavily like technical that I couldn't it's on pause right now. I will read it, but it's on pause. And I have all of Benatar's work except for his latest one, Very Practical Ethics, and I don't know, I'm lacking the motivation to read it because I don't know.
I mean, that's a kind of populist kind of book, isn't it? It's just like it sounds like it's just a money maker really for him. It won't be much use to you, right?
I don't want to be like too negative about it. Maybe it's actually good. But the way it sounds, like talking about swearing and climate change and veganism, it just sounds so like, or effect like. I think he talks a little bit about like giving money to charity and stuff. I've heard all this stuff before, you know, and it's just
yeah. Doesn't.
But again, maybe like until I don't want to judge a book by its cover, or I guess I'm judging it by the table of contents.
Can DePoop come on here? By the way, I haven't spoken to DePoop on here before.
Did you read his PhD dissertation? It is his. It's essentially his PhD dissertation.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. I've read dissertations before. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think some of those dissertations should be books. People put a lot of work into those things. But yeah, lately I'm just catching up with work, and I was trying to get into school, but shit like this happens, and then it reminds me how I can't when you get overworked.
Sorry, shit.
When you get overworked, it's just like I can't.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like I don't have energy for anything else.
I hear you. And the kind of the thought of doing part-time courses sometimes, sometimes if you say, oh, it's going to take you 4 years if you do it full time, it's going to take you 8 years if you do it part-time. It's just kind of a daunting prospect, isn't it?
Yep, and I already have deadlines that stress me out, let alone adding more deadlines voluntarily. It's just if I am to go to school, it's career development than philosophy at this point. I think maybe I say that now, but things can get. I could probably go like part-time. I heard being a casual student is a thing. Like I know I do this YouTube stuff, but honestly, it doesn't take that much energy. Sometimes. The last time I live streamed was like almost 7 hours, and I felt physically sick after that. I don't know how people do this as a job.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stay. I mean, I find it hard to do 3 hours. In the past, I used to. In the past, I used to just let it run, and I'd fall asleep. I'd let everyone just talk. But I mean, I'm not doing that anymore. It's kind of too risky. You do have to be present in your streams because you have to be careful what other people are saying. Unfortunately, people can say all manner of crazy shit, and then it will come down to, well, you let them say it without questioning them and stuff.
You're very good at that. I have my method. I don't even know if it was intentional. I like letting people speak. It's kind of like Steve called it Operation Let Them Speak. It's not intentional operation or anything like that. It's just I think if people have dangerous views or bad views, let it be known, and but there's still that, like, if you're running a panel.
Well, you see, the thing is, I mean, the last stream, one of the recent streams, he brought up we were talking about serial killers. He brought up like problems in the epilist community, for example. But the reason I said don't mention names is they are legal kind of problems as well. I don't want to be sued by someone saying this, that, but the thing is, I don't know what people are going to say sometimes. You know what I mean? They could say, oh, this person's going to say this person said this. The thing is, I know they can qualify it sometimes with things that have been said, but yeah, it is a minefield out there, and it is, and people could sue you. Oh, you said I'm. You know what I mean? Matty could come out. I mean, you have the right to analyze what people say, I suppose, but there's still a legal problem. People can sue you for defamation, character, and
character, libel, I think is.
Yeah.
That's why I try to post. I try to focus on what they're saying instead of any personal thing.
Yeah. I'm trying. And also with the I try personally.
For the record, Matty is he had multiple comments on my channel, so he seems to be okay.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, for me now at this point, I've kind of exhausted talking about that. In my view, I mean, I've wrote pieces. I don't think ethilism is a philosophy that does anything. And Wells gonna say, well, do I want to stay talking about that for the rest of my life? Probably not. Because I've already said it's a nothing philosophy. It doesn't make any sense. It's a futile endeavor. It's the red button experiment is an interesting hypothetical thought and thing to talk about, but in terms of actualizing a plan for it, I mean, and basing a philosophy that this should happen is pointless, you know. And I would say, unfortunately, for some people in this community, I do think that antinatalism, it has gone the same way for me in many ways. You know, I will talk about that later, but I just think that it's although it's interesting and although there's merit in it, yeah, I just think that there's only so much. We all have a certain period on this planet, and if something isn't giving benefit to
Well, how come you're
society,
not into the altruism movement?
the effective altruism. Well, do you know what? I like that, but then I'm also skeptical of it when I see who's behind it. You know, like Peter Thiel and all these people, Elon Musk. I see the big problem in the long-termist view is they're willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, but long-termism is just one like substrate of that movement. Like it's
yeah. You're right. But I mean, listen. The thing about the effective altruism is that they like to think they can prove things this way or that, but a lot of it is just speculation. And I mean, I don't. To be quite frank with you, I don't know what the best solution is in anything. You know, if I'm honest.
okay. So you're just not convinced that.
I'm not convinced by it, and as I say, I question the kind of people involved in it. You know, effective altruism.
Are you convinced by anything that could better the world?
Well, I like to think science, you know, education in science. I like to think that, but then you know, I don't think philosophy is completely dead as a necessity, because I think that it does guide science, but you know, it helps people have a sense of values. But yeah, I would say science, engineering, these are things to really fund in the world, you know, and by science, particularly health. Okay, health is very important. But you know, it's a minefield, isn't it? Because you do have to fund other things. But I think there's a lot of wastage in society. A lot of people's minds are filled with shit in education. But sometimes I wonder, would society function if everybody was given access to good education, etc., etc.? Because it's a horrible situation that we're in. You do need people to do crappy jobs, you know, and to be willing to do it and want to do it, you know. But listen, brother Marcus, if I'm honest, I don't see any good answers for anything. You know, I don't, and that does sadden me. All I see is a lot of unfortunate circumstances, people being sacrificed by existence, and people being congratulated and applauded for, you know, things that ultimately benefit them anyway, and they're getting something out of positive, you know. And number two, if they're skilled in any way or they've got some attributes that are attractive, well, they didn't choose those, you know. And that does bug me a lot in society, how we kind of like, you know, like Hollywood actors and stuff, they get all these awards and everybody's writing columns about them, and like, what the fuck are they actually doing of benefit to society, you know? Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could say, yeah, being able to convey a good story is important if it's meaningful in some way that helps people feel better, or perhaps shapes society's outlook in a way that fosters empathy. But you know, yeah, I just think that too much applause is given to people. Well, for things that aren't of their choosing, and too much. I'm a kind of a Marxist in a way, in that I think that the working man gets a raw deal in the world. He doesn't get congratulated or applauded, you know. And there is a classism involved here. It's like the privileged ones, people born into circumstances that allowed them to be this hoity-toity kind of, you know, actor or member of the literati or whatever, you know. I mean, they obviously are important, but you know, the 99% are what's holding this all up, you know, and it's just I just cry about this system sometimes. I don't literally cry, but I mean it's a foul system, you know. It's a foul system that we're in.
How is your existential dread lately?
How is my existential dread? Good question, actually. I suppose I'm more of I accept reality, and I don't think there's much point in being worried because, as I said, tried to say to Chickpea the other day, if we die, there are different outcomes. Either we end and that was it, okay, so there's no problem, or there's a good or a bad outcome, okay. If there's a bad outcome, okay, if it's eternally bad, well, what's the point of worrying about it? Because that's just the way it is. There's nothing you could do about it. And if there is a good outcome, well, then there's no point in worrying about it because it's a good outcome. Okay,
You sounded like Epicurus there. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
like you can't either way.
There's no point in worrying.
Yeah.
So I've accepted that, and I've also kind of.
It's kind of my answer to the simulation theory question because people ask me that sometimes. They're like, "What if we're in a simulation?" I'm like, "Well, I still got to pay my bills. I still got to do what I got to do. Like, simulation or not, I'm still got to, you know, I got to take care of this body. Got to take care. I got to get a roof over my head. You know, like it's it's in or outside of a simulation. I still got to live my life the same way anyway.
Exactly. I mean, I would absolutely agree with you. I don't understand their point actually. We're going to get out of the simulation into what? If it's a simulation, it's a copy of something. So you're going to go back into whatever else is like that. Well, oh wow, you know. So you're just going to go into the same set of circumstances, but more like the kind of you know the preceding one. Does it like so what? Now it is interesting about simulation because we do have recurring themes in society, you know, and the theme of this world being an illusion is often a recurring theme, okay, in spirituality and theology, and philosophy, and also the theme of simulation. You know, the Gnostics, the ancient Christian Gnostics, will believe that this realm was a simulation, that it was actually a copy of the spirit world. So they believe that the material realm is a copy of the spiritual realm. Created by the demiurge, because the demiurge was envious of the higher god. Okay, and the demiurge wanted to emulate the higher god by having their own realm, and so they built this copy or simulation of the spirit realm. But because it's a copy, it's not as good as the original, and also it's flawed because they didn't have as much power as the higher god. So it's just an example that these ideas are not new. You know, the human mind, as I said, human nature continues through time and space, and the human brain has the same kind of modes of thinking. It's just the context and times that change. But you do have the kind of, your brain can only go so far, you know, and we end up thinking the same things just with different kind of dressing on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something I think about sometimes. And it is interesting to try and that's just a very interesting thing that, you know, we're just the same thoughts but with different dressing. And yeah. But what about you, brother? You asked me that question. What about you? Do you? I mean, I think you've kind of settled that you don't really have existential angst, do you? Or do you?
No, I don't ruminate on it as much. Yeah, I don't think it bothers me as much as it used to. Like whenever I hear people talk about people who are pessimistic, like whenever I verbally say I'm pessimistic, I think I understand people's reaction about, or some people anyway, where it's like you want to fix or you want to offer advice, and I'm like, no, I'm just doing my thing, you know. It's just like saying that the sky is blue. That's how I see it. Is existence is you know, it's I don't think it's a good thing, and I still get on with my day and work.
I mean, that's kind of the message I was trying to convey. That's where it should lead you to as a pessimist. You know what I mean? It's like it is a difficult existence. It's bad, but the point is, you have to hold that thought, and continue anyway, And what I meant by the hope part is, part of the hope is, and I'm sure even though you're a pessimist, you still have this in you. I do. You do hope it's going to get better, even though you know ultimately it probably could get worse. But also it will get worse. In
terms of like individuals, I think that things can get better for their lives, but I don't think that overall for society or the world it'll get better. I think my expectation is it'll get worse. I keep using this as an example, like the Titanic is sinking, and that's the world to me. And we can go down. It
definitely seems like that to me as well. But you know,
that's my belief. That's my belief that it is going to do it. I'm not questioning if it isn't or isn't, or I think it is. That's what I believe. And I have two ways of going down. Right? I can hug my loved ones. We could play the violin and say cheerio off into the midnight. Or we can do a different way of going down. I think it's an existential hospice care or palliative care. That's the way I see it. And I've seen plenty of individuals die that way. You make their end of days comfortable as possible. They go off, and I think that's what we're going to do. And I'm not okay with it, but like that's my attitude towards it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we used to say that in the old streams, that if it was like this palliative care place like that, it's like you're making the best of a bad situation, knowing there's a terminal decline in the human experience, and we live in an entropic universe as well, where everything will go shit will hit the fan eventually, you know.
But like then there are very short-term things I can have hope. So, for example, if I go to the gym on a regular basis, then I can gain strength. I'm gonna have hope towards that strength building. If I go to school, I'll get a degree or whatever. Like those little things I can have more hope for. But even that, in the long term, I'm gonna die. But
I mean there's people out there
I can be hopeful for.
There's people out there who will start coming up with things like, well, the universe is entropic, but what about portals? What about being able to I know exactly. So I mean, it's good that people, but I would say I don't discourage that. I think it's great that people think outside the box.
Have you heard me debate anybody about that? I don't debate it. I'm just like, if that's what it like, if it's for you believe in it, that's fine. I think sometimes I get a little bit irritated when they try to project they want me to believe what you believe. Then I'm like, listen, I'm not trying to convince you on my thing. Like, just leave me. We can share our ideas and we can come to understanding of our ideas. But when you're trying to tell me, no, Mark, the portals exist and you got to change, otherwise the UFOs are not coming for you. And I'm like, bro, I didn't even ask for this.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't hold it against them. And the thing is, I also think it's good that people have these outside the box ideas. Is it called blue sky thinking? Is that the term? I forget what it is. When someone thinks about something, but then they end up discovering something else. There's a term in science for it. So, they might be looking for something, but then they discover something else whilst they were looking for. So when they were looking for A, they discovered B by mistake. It's like a consequence of searching that they didn't intend, but yet it's beneficial. So who was it that was Alexander Fleming discovered antibiotics, right? And he discovered that because he was doing. Sorry,
go ahead. About the antibiotics.
Yeah, he discovered antibiotics because he was doing a study on. I think he was probably doing a study on bacteria or something, and he's looking at them under a microscope, and he put something in a petri dish that killed the bacteria, and he noticed that like some of the petri dishes, the bacteria were being diminished or disappearing or whatever. And then he discovered that there was some substance that was antibiotic, and then but he didn't intend for that. It was a complete accident. It just happened in his lab whilst he was studying something else or whilst he was theorizing about something else. So that's why I think it's good for people to have crazy thoughts or think outside the box, because it's just part of the human condition. That's what. I mean, if we were all very rigid in our thoughts, then there wouldn't be any leaps or progress, in society, like healthcare and stuff like that. But or even finding not necessarily just about progress in healthcare, but just finding out stuff. You know what I mean? You can do what you want with the facts, like the way we found out about evolution and stuff. And I mean, all these things have led to an understanding and appreciation of the human condition, and although it's different for everybody, like we all grapple with it differently, at least we have that potential, evidence or discovery in the bag to look at, and when we're trying to find our own way in this world and trying to put meaning on it,
Black hole. I don't think myself or D&W think anything's wrong with going to church.
No.
And Chickpea says, but that is what Gnosticism is about, finding the way around it. I think she's right. And I'm, to be clear, I don't believe in Gnosticism. So it's questionable when I come on here. I am putting on I don't want people to think I believe in Gnosticism.
Well, as I say, I'm more of people will be annoyed with me, but I'm like a new age Gnostic. I use the term almost from a secular angle, in that I believe it's good to seek knowledge, and it's like knowledge will hopefully liberate you or help in your liberation, or at least help you progress, and move away from errors of the past, and trauma of the past as well. Because sometimes in accumulating knowledge, they say that knowledge, as a man grows in knowledge, he grows in sorrow. That's what it says in the Bible. But I believe, like everything in this realm, it can have a yin and a yang. There's an opposite that can be the case sometimes as well. When you accumulate knowledge, you can understand things a little bit better. Maybe not to be too hard on yourself or others. Be more forgiving. Be more empathetic. Be more understanding. Also realizing, for example, that things are out of everyone's control sometimes helps as well. Sometimes, and it is just what it is.
That's across all knowledge, or is it just like certain knowledge? Because there are some things I learn about that is just purely entertainment. It's not going to improve my life or improve others' lives. It's just interesting to know,
Yeah, I think that, definitely. I think it just depends on the situation, but I think that's subjective. What's relative to your appreciation or learning might be different to someone else's. As in, like, whatever is going to fill parts of the puzzle for you or heal parts of your trauma, because not everybody has the same trauma or the same wants, even. Like certain people want different things in life, and they want different questions to be answered. But I definitely think, some knowledge. I mean, it does seem some knowledge that we accrue seems to be pointless in regards to any actual benefit. It seems to be that case, but that's just part of the rolling through time and space, isn't it? As I said, we're just gathering data and trying to make sense of it all, and some of the data will be of benefit, some of it won't, but at least we kind of have filled that bit of the screen. If all knowledge was like pixels on the screen, at least we know we don't have to look there anymore. We've already got that bit. Say that again?
What's been beneficial for you?
You mean in accruement of knowledge? I would say stepping outside of prior held or prior conditioning, and realizing that there is this commonality in humans where we kind of we may speak different languages and we have different cultures, but we're kind of doing the same thing, you know. And also, we're like the problems that are in one society exist in the same exist in other societies. Okay, the cause is often the same kind of people. Okay, and because yeah, so basically, I would say what's been helpful to me is to be able to look at things through a more universal lens and see the commonalities and see the kind of I would say futility in being tribalistic or and how that leads to more problems. You know, being overly tribalistic leads to problems. But you know, oh God, Mark, you've opened a bag of worms here. Because I also see merit in being tribalistic as well. Because you've got to have an opinion, and whether we like it or not, when you form an opinion, you end up going into a group, you know, of people who hold that opinion, you know, and there are others who won't hold that opinion. Now, sometimes there might be conflict because of that. I suppose in terms of conflict with others who don't hold my opinions, I like to think I don't get as angry as I used to. I'm more accepting of the fact they're coming at things from their own angle, and like existence has imposed that on them, you know, and it's not their fault for holding different views than me. Also, I'm not better than them because I hold a different view. Okay, it's just by chance that I hold a different view, and also sometimes they might be right and I might be wrong. Okay, which is something that I have to grapple with sometimes. I may have cognitive biases. I may have psychological biases that are making me anchor to a particular view, but in truth, I might be the one who needs to move away from it. You know. So yeah, I would say the benefit of accruing knowledge for me is to become more universal in the application of my thought, seeing more of the picture, you know. And the more of the picture I see, you know, the closer I get to that objectivity. But of course, I'll never get to objective understanding. But it's definitely good to have more data in your mind than less, you know, when you're analyzing things.
Okay.
Well,
What? Sending a fentanyl.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Anybody want to come on here before we shut this down? The link is there. It's been nice to have a few in the chat. I don't know why Der Poop doesn't come on here.
Yeah, it'd be cool to hear from Der Poop.
Or anybody else who wants to come on here. Der Poop, are you coming on? I said LOL.
That is one heck of a message. Yeah. I think my wife is in the cosmos as well. I hope she's having a good time.
And they said maybe next time. Okay, Der Poop, well, that'd be good.
If they're familiar with Cabrera, it'd be interesting to hear from them.
All right, okay, Der Poop.
And I'd love to hear Chickpea's like thoughts on Benatar now that she's going down that road.
The link is not working apparently. Let me just
I joined on Chrome.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's you need to use Chrome to get the echo cancellation. The other browsers don't do that. I don't know why, but or the background noise cancellation.
Yeah, I mean you managed it and Black Hole managed it, and the first fellow, Rojo, whatever his name was.
Rojo.
Yeah. He came on it.
What happens, Chickpea, when you try? Brother Marcus, the fraud god. Ooh. That's a cool name.
That is a cool
Yeah. I've been getting kind of tired of this name.
name.
Thank you.
Oh, dear. We
Try to
do
think
love you,
of-
Tyler. Tyler comes up with the best sentences. Honestly, sometimes the way the words come out of Tyler's, keyboard, it's amazing. So thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, I like his live streams. They're good.
Mm. An interesting fellow.
Wow. Yeah, Chickpea
Right,
took.
guys. I tell you what, we'll give you a little bit. We'll give you a bit of time to come on here. But we're going to shut this down in the next 5 minutes, okay? If nobody else comes on. Open panel icon will not respond. I don't know, man.
It just needs to restart it.
Yeah, I'd say just close the browser and start again, Chickpea. Exit and come in again.
Well, thanks for the live stream anyway, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
911, what is your emergency? 911, what is your emergency?
That is scary. What is
We have a live stream that didn't work. Did that scare you, Brother Marcus?
Yeah, because I'm like, is it because I wear my headphones? I'm like, is my phone doing something,
yeah.
trying to tell me there's an emergency?
Okay. 1 second. Yeah, we have the suspect with us. His name's Brother Marcus, the fraud god. What should I do? Yeah, he's here right now. Over. Okay, over. Sorry, Brother Marcus. So yeah, bit of banter. All right. Right, let's have a look. Comments. Okay, so 3 minutes, and then if nobody comes on, I'll end it. Let me just see if I got any more noises to play.
Do you have a soundboard, or where are you getting them?
Yeah, I downloaded a few sounds, sound effects.
Oh, okay.
So I'll let you.
There was only one woman for the job. There was only one woman.
There's only one woman for the job, and that's Chickpea. So
Yes.
We're waiting for her to come on. I've even got a song to play. I've got a song to play for when. No, they're not from the stream. No. I downloaded the sound effects, and I basically uploaded them onto the. The other way you can upload songs onto your StreamYard. Yeah, I uploaded them individually. So I've even got a song to play for when the Prophet and Vegan Equilibrium go at it. So we can play this one for them too. Yeah, it's a tame. I've got some doorbells as well, so that I should play like when someone joins or when someone's about to join. I like this one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Would you like that one for you, Brother Marcus? Okay. And
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement. We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement. We interrupt.
Yeah. There you go. The announcement is that the show's going to end soon, unless somebody comes on. there's a few here. The problem is there's too many I downloaded, and trying to find them at the comic moment will be a problem.
Can you name them like different names?
Oh yeah, no, I've done that, but like it's like you know, there's a list, and you'll have to like scroll down to find it. Yeah. So you kind of need someone else doing it for you, I suppose.
Yeah, you need a sound technician. So you got tech support, a sound technician. Yeah.
Well, you are the IT help desk. You know that, don't you? You're the service. You're the service desk manager. So you got to. I need the service. I need the service delivery agreement on my desk by 9 a.m. Brother Marcus. You know. So I got this one as well.
Oh.
Warning. Warning.
We'll play that when D-Profit's coming. Yeah. Oh, I've even got The Simpsons. Haha. That play? I can hear it. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
That's weird. I never heard it. That is weird. It didn't play on my side.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Got a new outro as well.
Oh,
we have the intro. We have an outro. Yeah, I'll play that in a little. Well, guys, no one's coming now, so I'll play it now. I'll just put up a banner to say show's over. And we can play the outro.
See you tomorrow.
All right, bro. Take care. Bye.
Truth is fleeting, shadows call. We search for meaning, we question all. The path is winding, the veil is thin. Beyond illusion, let the journey begin. Seeking knowledge, breaking chains. Through the echoes, through the pain. One more question, one more spark. We chase the light inside the dark. Voices whisper, thoughts collide. Truths are hidden deep inside. The world's a riddle, a shifting dream. Reality isn't what it seems. Seeking knowledge, breaking chains. Through the echoes, through the pain. One more question, one more spark. We chase the light inside the dark. Until next time, keep your mind wide. Stay curious and let wisdom guide you. Let us hope we each seek what we're meant to find. Make gnosis bring you peace of mind. Until next time, keep your mind wide. Stay curious and let wisdom guide you. Let us hope we each seek what we're meant to find. May gnosis bring you peace of mind.